So we're getting it ready for Busco. Just some cosmetic stuff. Foot pegs, we're gonna repaint them up here. Do some touch-up paint on all this kind of rusty stuff that just happens from riding. You know, there's little spots everywhere, so we'll just take off what we can, like these, clean them up a little bit, shine them up, paint them up right here, stuff like that. We got to get the light bar wired back up. Buttons disconnected because it got wet. But yeah, just a couple cosmetic things here and there. Might spray the rack too. It's not really a big deal, just make things look better, you know. Yesterday we took his bumper off to get the winch out, put a new cable on. But yeah, my dog Bella. We gonna clean the garage up a little bit and get to it. I'll keep y'all updated. Yeah, this 570 is going through it. Needs all new wheel bearings, so everything's taken apart, sitting on a jack. It's kind of like the storage unit right now, keeping everything on top of it. Got the cryptids, I think that's what they're called. I don't know. It's my brother's shit. Cryptids. Anyway, we gonna get right on to cleaning. Get back with y'all. All right, guys. So what we've done here is we went ahead and loosened up my crankcase loop, just to make sure that if there was any oil in there, we're getting it drained out. That way it's not sitting in there or going in the air box or whatever. Basically just doing a Busco, pre-Busco check, getting everything all tidied up. What I've done here is loosen the foot pegs. It's two little Allen bolts. I forget what size they are, but got the OG Honda boat. And what I've done, so you could actually see the HB and not have a line through it, like that. I took a solo cup and placed it in there, cut it out and placed it, and then put that over it so you could actually see the HB. So I'll clean the white stuff up, paint these over one more time on both sides, and then we'll get up there to the ride relocate. But it's just kind of some internal stuff. I've got all my four-wheel drive relays dry boxed. It does fairly well. Sometimes it gets just a little bit wet. This is my billow for all the vent lines and whatnot, so that way there's not 100 running up my snorkel. There's just gas, coolant, and one that runs from that billow. Everything else. I also went ahead and put another cable clamp, whatever you call that thing, right there, because the original one, like this one from Honda, just kind of sheared off, so I put one on there and tightened it back up. If not, it rattles, and it sounds like the valve's out of timing, but it's not. It's just that thing rattling. I figured out. Probably go through and dielectric grease the spark plug again. Just kind of open everything up one time. Oil, just checked it. It's good. Dry box is good. Air box. Never seen water in this thing. Never. It's clean. There's a little bit of oil in it sometimes from being sideways in the holes and whatnot. That's why I'm draining that out. But some people like the silicone their tops. I just dielectric grease mine. Seems to work all right. Got my air filter out, cleaning it right now. It's pretty dirty. I got the high lifter snorkel with the silicone pipe. Looking back, it's probably an expensive option, but looks good in my opinion. You know, strong bracket, good looking top. This one sits right at about 6 feet to the top of it. Got it reinforced here on the rad relocate. This is all kind of done by myself. Got everything clean wired in. Not too much junk just going around. Speakers, light bar. Just, you know, turn them on. They'll connect. But yeah. So what I'm gonna do here is just kind of clean everything up, give you all updates. I'm gonna take that thing off next, and then probably come up here one at a time, take each of these off and paint them. So I might just paint them right there, to be honest. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Get back with y'all in a moment. Here's where we ended up. Ended up taking one of the wheels off because my floorboard support was somehow pushed forward, probably backed into a stick or something in a hole, but I beat it back. I noticed it was off because these holes didn't line up right and it was kicked forward, but got all the stuff kind of painted up, touched up anyway, so there's no really rust spots anywhere. Got the speakers kind of black again. Front bumper looks a lot better. Excuse me. But I'm not even gonna bother painting that because it's just gonna get right back to where it is again next ride. So what I'm gonna do is throw this wheel back on and get these put back in here. And after that, I believe I'll probably do the crankcase hose, wrap it back up, plug it in, probably clean that off and reseal it one time and just put everything back together. So I got most of that done. I got the floorboard things repainted and I got new plastic under it. Looks a little red, but a little buff. Clean the airbox out completely again. Just make sure everything's nice and spiffy. Got the air filter getting cleaned out. Got the airbox lid, all the gunk off of it so we can seal it back up right again. Started a new project. I'll go over that in a second, but yeah. Got it all looking kind of better. Better than it was anyway. Here's the waiter ball. But yeah, so what I started here now is my brakes decided to quit working. I mean, they never really work. I'm gonna try to see if I can figure something out. I think I found out what was wrong with it. This piece is what actually makes the drum brakes tight. It turns like that, opens them up. I think this piece is seized, so I'm gonna put some watercraft, kind of like marine grade grease in there. Packet full of marine grade grease since the diff fluid don't seem to stay in there. That's what drained out of it. It's pretty dirty. When I go pick something up, I'll get a new seal for that too, but about to pull this in the garage and call it a night. So we're coming back to finishing the four-wheeler off. We're gonna let that air filter dry out just a little bit more, and got enough sun coming down the road. "843 Harry."
Huh?
Anyway, we're gonna let that dry out. Dial it, grease the lid, and throw that back on. I also got the brake job getting worked on. I went and got some parts for it. Basically took them apart. This piece gets seized up in the drum brakes, so we gonna unseize it. Basically took the whole thing apart. Now I'm gonna put it back together. The whole machine gonna go back together now. So I figured out what was wrong with the brakes. Originally I had it in the shop to get them fixed because I thought they were just worn out, but this piece had slipped out and it kept pulling the wires out, but I finally looked at it and it wasn't in the right place. So I took this piece apart and got the wire slipped back up in there how it's supposed to be. So now it all sits right. And if you look through there, it finally moves. So what I'm gonna do now is go back here and make sure that it's aligned correctly. I think it is because my pad's a little worn. But you know, you can also adjust right here. I might have to actually move this piece up a little. It might be too high, but we're about to find out in a minute here. The piece that gets stuck on this most of the time is this. And what I did was I packed it full of grease, which hopefully I cleaned it out with a wire brush and packed it full of grease. I also did the same here. I just ain't greased them yet. Probably won't grease these because, you know, these don't move too much. I might throw just a little dab, but I'm gonna get this back together. I'll get back with you. Got it all back together. Brakes are all good. Tighten up the hubs on both sides because This side was getting just a little bit loose, so. Draining my 4-wheel drive relay box. It a little bit wet, but I'm gonna set it out in the sun for a little while, let it dry out. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the air filter back on because it's dry. And then we're gonna seal the air box lid up with some dielectric grease. Just run a bead around it right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that filter back in, and we'll see what we're gonna do from there. But got the brakes good. Front one lever don't work. I don't know. I'm done messing with it. Foot lever works, so we're gonna roll with it.